Hi, this is Jackie Murray with Ask a Tech Teacher. I'm your guide through these 32 lessons in the Structured Learning Technology curriculum for third grade. We're in lesson 17. We're going to talk about students' internet research and vocabulary. We tie these together because very often when students research, they come to words they don't know. So it's important that they not stop or skip those words, that they have easy tools to take a minute, 2 minutes to look the word up and then go back to their research. So there aren't a lot of new vocabulary or problem solving. They've probably done research before in second grade, but we're ramping it up this year now that they're third graders. We're going to add digital note taking. You might do that in second grade, but we're going to do it a little more this year. Have some questions that they're discussing in class so you can use them for part of one of these projects coming up. They're going assessment opportunities in this lesson. They're doing presentations. They're using text and search tools effectively, and that would be an anecdotal observation. They're using good keyboarding as they're practicing down here, those types of things. Completed their warm-up and exit ticket. Not a lot of, not summative assessments, but these are all really the core of learning sort of assessments. Okay, they're keyboarding all rows, so let them come in, sit down, get started. Remind them homework is due the last day of the month. Let them know who were the fastest keyboarders from the quiz they took last week. And if you post them on the board, that's great. Have that all ready for them. If you're doing a little competition here, then show whose class is the fastest so far. And it looks like Mrs. Bosri is up here. If you're handing out certificates for people who have achieved grade level standard, do so. Or you might save those for some sort of an all-school assembly. Speak Like a Geek presentations continue today. There's 3 activities in this lesson, so you might have to pick the one that works best for you because that's a lot of material to cover. Okay, internet research, review how to research. Using a search engine, typing words in the search bar, and the asterisk is the one we highlight in this lesson. When you put an asterisk in, then students, it means anything. You can fill it in with anything. So typically then down here, the site will fill that asterisk in with the height of Mount Everest. It might say Mount Everest is too many feet tall. It might not have the right answer, but students use their critical thinking skills and they'll just go right past that. They're looking for a quantitative answer. Anytime you use the internet, go over these particulars. How to legally use anything they find in there. Now, facts, they can use those. They're facts. They can't be copyrighted. The fact that Mount Everest is so tall, you can't copyright that. You don't have to say according to so and so. But if there's Mount Everest is the hardest mountain in the world to climb, that's an opinion. That's no longer a fact. So that needs to be copyrighted and attributed. Discuss plagiarism with students. You're going to start probably as soon as they're researching and taking things off the internet, which if you're following this curriculum from K through 8, you know they did that last year. So this is not new to them. Anytime they take pictures or information or data of any sort from the internet, they have to give credit. Now, classroom teachers are used to saying that for text. When you quote someone, you have to give credit, but very often they're not used to it with pictures or data or charts and graphs, those sort of things. So it applies to everything. Anything you take off the internet has to be accredited to the correct person. So go over that with them. They might not get it this year, but they'll get it better this year than they got last year. And you're going to keep repeating it till they accept it. Okay, this is the order when they're looking at extensions, when they're doing their research and they're coming up with options. This is the order of reliability of websites. Chat rooms and forums are definitely people's opinions. Blogs are definitely people's opinions. Net and .com are websites. They may or may not be accurate. It really depends upon what those are. .org, it's a little better, but not really. They're almost right down there with .net and .com as far as reliability. But when you get up to .gov and .edu, those are very reliable. We think they are. I mean, they're supposed to be. .gov is put out by our government. So if you agree with what the government says, or that your government is reliable, then those sites are reliable. .edu, if you believe that your education, colleges and universities are reliable, then those are reliable. Okay, so then the other nations and getting a bigger and bigger deal than they used to be. So here are some research sites. You want students to do some practice with those. Give them those questions we talked about early on that you got from the teachers and have them research them using one of the research sites here or a variety of them. Find the answers and just find reliable websites for them. Now, here's some clues for how to find information on the internet. And they're in this poster here. You can go over these with them also. Okay, so as they're doing their research, they have to write that stuff down somewhere. So that's your digital note-taking. So Common Core really doesn't start note-taking until 4th grade. But if they're doing it in 3rd grade, there's no reason they can't digitally take notes. If they're taking notes in 3rd grade, then why not digitally? So here's Common Core's reasons. There's no reason these don't apply to a 3rd grader instead of a 4th grade. It's just that means if they started this year by 4th grade, they will be spot on with these. Okay, so here's your general ideas for note-taking, more general ideas. And then do a fun little survey here. Paper and pencils. What are the pros and cons of pencils for note-taking, or and the cons and then discuss would digital note-taking fix that. If you're using the workbooks, I think they have that in here. So we've kind of preloaded a few for them, and then they can fill in the rest. They can scratch out the ones they don't think apply to them. They can add the ones they think do, and do this in small groups, 2 or 3 students, and then get together as a class to discuss them. And pretty quickly, it's easy to see that pencils are not a great solution for note-taking. They're simply what we had. But digitally, if you have a digital note-taking tool where you just open up the note-taking tool and start writing, that's really a pretty good solution. No worries about lead being broken or not having the pencil or all those other things. So whatever your note-taking tool is in the classroom is the one you'd use. Now, you might not introduce these like Notability or Evernote until students are older. So sometimes it's a really good idea just to start students by using a word processing doc to take notes, because they know how to use those in 3rd grade. So that's a great one for them to use. And this is how it might look. I wanted to make a point about PDFs. If you're using PDFs like this PDF, you can see how easy it was for me to take a note in here with this PDF. And I'm in Acrobat, Adobe Acrobat. There's also, if they read other PDF books, then this is Adobe Digital Editions. You just highlight what you want to take a note on, right-click it, and add a note. A lot of digital note takers work exactly like that. They're very simple. So if you have PDF books that you use or articles that you use, that you're going to find it very simple to take the notes in there. If students use digital textbooks, usually they have their own way of taking notes, but they'll have it. So you just have to find out what it is. Okay, so here's some things they might pay attention to as they're taking notes. Digital vocabulary. The important thing about this is as they're taking notes, they want to know how to find the definition of words that they don't know. It's most word processing programs let you right-click and go to dictionary or Google Docs, research, even Microsoft Word, right-click dictionary, and then they can look up the word and find out what it means. Those are very simple if they're doing it that way. Otherwise, if you're using the internet, hopefully you have an app or an extension that lets students do a double click on the word or a right click on the word, and it'll come up with the definition. Something very quick. You definitely want want this to be very quick. You don't want students to feel like, okay, I don't know that word. It's going to take me 2 minutes to find it and I'll lose my train of thought. So you have to make it better than that. It could be that they use a tool like dictionary.com or thesaurus.com. Then that has to be right on their desktop where they can very quickly and seamlessly access it. I think, and you can do a demonstration for them. Have students, class exit ticket, have students add a new word and its definition to a virtual wall, such as a Padlet, before leaving class. Hopefully these are academic words or domain specific. All right, I think that's it. Oh, this is for you on some note-taking tools, a couple of them. And let's see if there's anything in there. They have a spot here where they could write their notes down. So they would just use the annotation tool in this PDF and write the words down they didn't understand. Their student workbook, they might say, well, what's an affix? Okay, I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to highlight it there. I'm going to add it over here. And they could just add that as a word that they don't understand. In this case, you'd use the comment section. So, all right, I think that's it, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to help you with them. Otherwise, I'll see you in a week. Have a great week. Bye.